Yo, 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 good people. It's your homie HerbMan. Busting you back upside the head with another hot banger. Boogie, please go tell somebody to go tell somebody your homie HerbMan is on. Yes, sir. And if you're new to the program, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all the platforms at Love HerbMan. All right, so I am your homie HerbMan. I am your neighborhood holistic practitioner. We're coming live from South Africa, live on YouTube, live on TikTok. Go be somewhere, be situated so that you can learn exactly what we're teaching you guys today, which is how to heal thyself. And you cannot heal yourself unless you know thyself. So we teach you here about the human frame and the human design so that you can be well on your way to happiness, wholeness, and wellness. Now, when I say human frame and human design, I ain't using no computer, you guys, all right? So we don't do that type of stuff. That we literally teach you about what it is to be in this paradigm, okay? Now, you must understand that this is a free information station. You don't have to pay for anything here, you guys. All you simply got to do is pay attention. And how we do that on the HerbMan Show is by double tapping that screen and getting us up to 100,000 likes during the live broadcast. All right, I am worth it. You are worth it. Let's share this information. I'll work for you if you can work for me, and let's keep this live going, keep this interactive going. Okay, once we get to 1,000 likes, we'll get into the subject matter at hand. And what am I teaching? Who am I? What am I doing? I'm simply letting everybody know that there is no panacea product, but there is a panacea programming. You can reprogram your body to do exactly what it was doing before you got sick. You can reprogram your mind to do exactly what you're supposed to be doing before you got the program, before you got the downgrade, okay? And so what's happening is that we can remove the programming in order for you to actually operate in a clean state. I don't want you to even have to go and get another program. I just want you to at least get 1 moment, 1 minute, 1 second where you're operating in a clean state. There is nothing programming you. There is no ideology. There is no theology. There is no a systematic constructive thought process in your mind for 1 moment, for 1 minute. Again, I was teaching somebody about meditation a little earlier, and I actually got this video on the feed. You guys, look. The bride to thought is attention, okay? Just like a man loves a woman, just like those two go together, thought and attention go together. When you give thought attention, they will produce an action, okay? So let me just tell you this real quick. You guys keep tapping. I'll keep talking. Let's go ahead and get us up. It looks like you guys are a little lagging behind over there, so I don't necessarily know what's going on. I don't know if you guys are watching me, seeing me. Put some ones in the chat if you guys are watching me and able to see me. Okay, put some ones in the chat if you guys are watching me and able to see me. Put some ones in the chat if you guys are watching me and are able to see me and hear me. I know we got some thunderstorms and we got all this kind of different weather going on. Okay, so people can't hear me. Okay, cool. So yeah, so just like everything is about reproduction. Okay, so when thought, okay, when thought gets with attention, they're going to reproduce a baby called action. Okay, when thought get with attention, they're going to reproduce a baby called action. Okay, so if you're looking for the mindfulness, if you're looking to try to calm the body down, if you're having sympathetic nervous system issues, if you're having pain, in the lower back limbs, you're having pain in your arm, legs, if you're having a fibromyalgia, constant pain, sickle cell anemia, constant pain, if you're having all of these different chronic stress, chronic pains in the body, then you must understand how to calm your nervous system, how to calm the mind. When you calm the mind, you calm the body. Sometimes y'all are trying to calm the body without calming the mind. That's asinine. It doesn't work like that. Thought gets an attention and create action. What's happening is y'all are sick, but you still got to pay bills. That bill is a thought. You give it attention. Now you thinking you still need to get up and go do something when really you're at a time where you need to rest, but you can't rest. You got to work. Why? Because those thoughts you're giving attention to creating you to keep getting up, moving and going until you don't have any energy anymore. Any what we like to call, it's a word called debility, but it's when you don't have any energy, right? It's feeble, right? That's when you're lacking the energy to reproduce healthy cells to get you back on your feet. But this is not just about healthy cells, this is about healthy thoughts. What do you need to do to produce healthy thoughts? What do you need to do to produce a healthy life? What do you need to do to get to the wealth that you're looking for? What do you need to do to cure this disease that you're looking at? What do you need to do to get the life that you're actually looking forward to having? Okay. And that's the thing. You got to learn how to reproduce. You got to learn that food is information. You got to learn that this experiment is information, right? And it is how you're reacting to the information. Okay. When you get thought, okay, when thought come in, what is your immediate response? Okay. Do you give attention to it? Or do you ignore it? This is the art of meditating and praying and fasting and being in a and trying to get into a trance state. Remember, I told you guys that you can get to the other side without dying. You can dream, but you got to know how to control this inner being in you. Okay, you have to learn at some point in this navigation, at some point in this whole human experience. We can't just keep reading books of people who have died trying to get this information out. We got to start listening to people who are living, that are practical and are actually utilizing this information to flourish in life. So therefore, you don't got to read my book when I'm dead, aka Dr. Sabi. That's when most of y'all know when he died. But do you know the life of the man when he was yet living? Extraordinary, way more than what you would think in the books. Okay, so my point to you is that this is it. How is your response to the environmental stimuli? How is your reaction to something that has come up in your life? Your reaction speaks volumes. Your reaction to environmental stimuli. Somebody fuss at you. What's your reaction? Your boss say something to you. What's your reaction? Your kids say something to you. What's your reaction? Your spouse don't do what you want them to do. What is your reaction? When life doesn't give you the oranges that you're looking for from the orange tree, what is your immediate response? What is your reaction and response? This is where the secret to healing really is going to delve into, because it is in the response. Remember that I told you guys, it is in the perception first. How do you perceive the environmental stimuli? Now, based on your perception, will dictate what type of reaction or response that you will give. Now, some of you guys are sick. What is going to be your response? Some of you guys got high blood pressure, diabetes, arthritis. What is going to be your response? Your response ain't going to get the herbs. That ain't what I'm on here to tell you. Your response shouldn't be going and getting the right foods and this, that, and the third. That ain't what I'm here to tell you. Your response ain't going to get the right medications or vitamins and minerals. That's not why I'm sitting here talking to you today. So then what is it that I'm trying to get you to understand is that before you start to supplement, what is the definition of supplement? Supplement is an addition to, it is something that is added to something that is missing, or either something to enhance it, right? So that's what the definition of supplement is, right? So when you're looking at herbs and medications and vitamins and minerals, which are the three things that you're supplementing for your health, when you have an issue, you're either going to go to the vitamin and mineral shop, the HerbMan, or you're going to go to the doctor. Medications, right? So you got vitamins and minerals, herbs and medications are the three categories or three groups of things that you can go run to when you feel like you need some extra oomph. But the thing is where do you need that extra oomph? You don't know the tendency or the deficiency. You're just running into a cliche understanding of that I need supplement because maybe the food ain't grown well, or the water ain't this and water ain't that, but you still don't know what it is. And so what I'm trying to teach y'all guys is that because you still don't want to really learn this thing, what's happening is I'm an educator. So what you're paying for when you get me is educating you on you. Okay. And since that's really, you are a priceless being, we ain't going to put the price tag up there like that. But this is $1 million assessment that you get for 50, just in case you wanted to understand who I am. Okay. So we're getting you to understand your program, how you are programmed. Well, how do you know how I'm programmed? Well, we don't have to look at your blood to tell you that. I don't need your blood type to tell you that. I don't need your hair sample, stool sample, urine sample. I don't need the lie. I don't need no little bump. I don't need none of that to know who you are. All I need is your birthday. That birthday wears the longest information on you. And again, all of this environmental stimuli is food. How will you regurgitate? How will you respond? How will you digest the environmental stimuli. Everything in this particular environment is food for you. Food is information. So you're eating when you're watching, you're eating when you're looking, you're eating when you're hearing, you're eating when you're thinking, you're eating when you're feeling, you're eating, because all of these things is food for you, is information. All right. And it's going to allow you to get the proper response. Okay, the proper response. So when you eat a whole bunch of food at night and you see that your body is responding by sleeping, then that's a telltale sign that you had too heavy of a meal. Listen to me. You get environmental stimuli. What you have to watch is how you react. When your homeboys them come through there, even though you ain't smoked in a while, when they come through there, you end up smoking. So you got to see how you respond to your homeboy. When your girl come through there, you don't normally do a whole lot of stuff, but when she come through, you always going out eating $150 meals. Then you wonder why your money gone, brother. It's because every time she comes, you respond by spending all your goddamn own money, brother. And so therefore, you got to watch your response, your reaction to the environmental stimuli. I'm giving you a girl you like. What you gonna do? I'm gonna take her out every time. Then you crying about your money. I give you a situation to where your job is going to end. We're going to fire you, and what you're going to do? You just got an apartment. You just bought you just rented your car out. You know what I'm saying? You just got that off the lot, so you got a $300 car note. You got a $1,000 apartment note, and then you just got fired from your job. It's an environmental stimuli. What are you going to do? How are you going to respond? How are you going to react? Now, this is the problem in what's happening. Okay. The problem in what's happening is because this is overstimulated. For a human, we're thinking about too much and having too much going on. Okay, humans didn't really have a whole lot going on. I mean, when it's daytime, you go hunt for food. When it's night, you go hunt for shelter. That's just pretty much it. You go look for food in the day, you look for shelter at night, and it was a very simple life. But now you're thinking about college, and you got all of these systematic programs that keep the mind unidle. Okay, to keep the mind unidled, and so you're overstimulated in thoughts, which means that you're always constantly at edge on how to respond or react. This is what we call the stress, the fight or flight syndrome, the overly stimulated sympathetic nervous system. Okay, so now because you got so much going on in your mind and in your life of the human, you got a lot of thoughts. Then guess what? You're always on edge to respond. You ever heard of somebody who was very edgy, who was very irritable, who was very quick, snappy? It's because they have got so much going on, that they're having to respond and react basically off a whimper's notice. And what's happening is there's running the body totally down. Okay, so now we understand that it's in how I respond and how I react. One of the first key things that you can do to understand how to calm the body down during these stormy times in my life, broke, lonely, and sick, is that I must understand how not to be quick to respond. I must gather how important it is to not be quick to respond. That's why I told you about the thought and the attention. You got to not let some of these thoughts go by. When your boss says something to you, you got to let the thought go by. You know, now, a lot of us are good at this, but some of us are too good at it, and so therefore there's also a problem there too. Some of you guys are too passive. You're too passive, and you're allowing the boss to do too much. And some of you guys are too aggressive, and you won't allow the boss to do enough. So at the end of the day, though, it's about slowing down your response to the environmental stimuli. When she comes over, think about it first. Nigga, you ain't got the money to really take her out this weekend. So don't take her out this weekend. Slow your response down. Okay? Slow your response down. If you slow your response down, then you end up living out the truth that is actually what you really need to live out. But anytime you keep quick responding, you keep doing shit you ain't got no business doing. You keep quick responding to them coming over to the house. Just because your friends came over, nigga, they ain't been coming over here. But they came over, you know, I'm finna go on and go out. You quick responding. Next thing you know, you too drunk that night. You too geeked up that night. You and your old lady fight that night because you stayed out late that night. Because when you quick respond, you losing. Remember that when you're in a stress situation, when you're in fight or flight, you lose a lot of your ability to be reasonable and logical. So therefore, when you go out on that quick response and you're under this tension and you're overly stimulated like this, yeah, you want to drink, you want to be geeked up, but you don't have a stop button because you got so much that you're trying to get out of you. And therefore, now instead of you doing 2 drinks, you did 6 drinks. Instead of you doing 2 blunts, you did 4 blunts. Instead of you did 12 o'clock, you came home at 4 in the morning. Why? Because you got to this point that I'm trying to get y'all to understand. When you keep being like this, then you get into default. Okay, y'all remember this, right? Default mode. Your default mode network system starts to come in. This means just simply what this means for Rico, them, and grandmama now, because I know y'all don't give a damn about no DM. All this simply means is that you're desensitized. You're on pilot. You're on autopilot. Okay, you're on autopilot with some of these emotions and some of these things that are going on in your life. So now, because you've been so stuck in overly stimulated sympathetic nervous system mode, you get desensitized and you start to get into default mode network system way more often than what you should do. So now when the girl come over, you in default mode. Now after a certain time of being with that woman or being with that man, y'all get into default mode. You know this don't work when you get in default mode, right? Because you in default mode. See, it don't work no more. So now you got to be doing. Now you want to put it in all kind of other holes and put the legs in all kind of other places because this little place that's supposed to be fruitful all the time is old to you. How did this get old to you? How does eating berries get old to you, right? Because you got in the default mode. You're desensitized. You need more dopamine. You need more excitement. You need more pleasure in a situation that shouldn't be a temporary fleeting thing. This should be substantial and it should be permanent. Therefore, you got to get out of this. So guess what? Serotonin and oxytocin and a lot of those things will help reduce the default mode networking system so that you don't get stuck in autopilot and that you can be in the present moment and then start to now control the present moment by slowing your response. See? Y'all see how I just worked y'all in and out of that problem? That's how this goes. You guys keep tapping, I'll keep talking, okay? Keep tapping, I'll keep talking. You guys, I've already gave y'all enough for the day, okay? Again, a lot of you guys are just coming here and being seat fillers. We don't need seat fillers. We need people who are really interested in healing themselves to come and join the show. Okay? Come and join the show, you guys. Okay? Come and join the show. You guys can also subscribe on YouTube. Help us get those subscribers up over there as well, just in case something happens to TikTok. We know we got another outlet. All right. So overstimulated because of my thoughts, which means that I'm always constantly responding and reacting. And then now because I'm doing that, I'm desensitized to what I'm reacting and responding to. And I'm just giving ordinary responses, giving regular responses to things that I'm not really contemplating and thinking about because I'm so overly stimulated. My logic and my reason for these situations are not operating properly simply because I can't slow down the response because I'm always dealing with the boss. I always deal with the job this way. I always deal with my coworkers this way. I always deal with my spouse this way. I always deal with my kids this way. I always talk to my mama this way. I always thought about this politically. I always thought about this as a community involver. I always thought about this about church. I always thought about this about life. I always did this about my finances. I always thought about this about relationships. And so everything you just keep the program. The programming keeps you in default mode network system. And then therefore, when you in that way, how can I pull you out of this in order to show you that you don't have to die to transition, but to dream? How can I get you in a dream state when you're already there? Because you're a dead man walking. You are eyes wide shut. You are sleepwalking. You are awake, but you're not in your conscious state. So it's very hard to get a sick person who is basically a zombie back to reality for them to heal themselves. It's very hard to get you out of the death consciousness to bring back life to you in your body and in your mind. It is very hard to get y'all to snap out of this voodoo and snap out of this zombieism and snap out of this vampire state. It's very hard to wake up the dead because you guys can't hear clearly. You can't see clearly. You can't feel clearly what's really going on around you. And so my voice, my life, and what I was born to do was to come here to let you know, wake up. You haven't spent one day here in reality because you won't break the program. And again, my question to you guys, all of us, man, if we're not going to be superhuman, if we're not going to purposefully try to get to this God consciousness, if we're not purposefully going to try to have this mind of Christ, if we're not going to try earnestly to be our higher version of ourselves, the best version of ourselves, if we're not going to earnestly try to, then there's no reason to cry when you get a disease or when you get these ailments, because who would want to live in the world for a long time with broke and impoverished and violence? Everybody should want to tap out of this motherfucker if it's going to stay this way. But if there is a way out of the matrix, if there is another option, another blue pill, if there is an exit route, if there is a blueprint of escape, if there is a way to this higher consciousness, which our forefathers have been trying to teach us for years, then that is the purpose, but you can't stop the journey. You got to keep on. You got to wear the cloak, human species. You got to wear the cloak of your forefathers and continue to evolve into this upper echelon of human species where we're protective and conservative over all life. That's what I'm here for. A true advocate of the earth, the planet, and the people that are in it, the humans, the animals, and everything. We got to get more protective and conservative, okay? So now, understanding this, now slow the response. So he wanted me to slow the response. So how I would normally respond to my husband, how I would normally respond to my boss, how I would normally respond to my children, how I would normally respond to this sickness, how I would normally respond to this financial situation, how I would normally respond to this loneliness, how I would normally respond to this stress, how I would normally respond to these things. I got to slow down and then redirect that energy. And just in the slowing down, I start getting more options than what I'm used to getting. Because a lot of times when I'm fast responding, I just feel like that's what I got to do. But when I start to slow my response, I realize that I get a little bit more ideas. I get a little bit, just a little bit of slowing down. I get about 2 or 3 more options now instead of just the one I feel like I used to have. And it's because now I'm slowing the response and giving time for other things to be able to come in and allow me to assess this situation so that I can respond appropriately. If you always scared, at some point you're gonna be dead. Why? Because your logic and your reason gonna run out. Okay, your logic and your reason are going to run out. So you slow down in order to really get away from this lion of life, from this bear in your life, from this tiger thing in your life, from this environmental stimuli that's causing you the stumbling block or causing you the obstruction or the obstacle in your life that you're needing to overcome. Slow your response and your reaction down. Think a little bit longer and watch you navigate and circumvent these obstacles way better than you used to be able to do before. Okay, what's going on YouTube? What's happening, Monica? What's going on, Emmanuel? Okay, so now you're understanding that all of these things is information, and it's about how I process it, and then more importantly, how do I respond? How do I respond? So now somebody said, now they told me that I have this. Okay, so this is the biggest thing going right now, right? So then somebody said that I have this right here, right? Now this is bigger than the other one up there, but a lot of y'all don't know it because this has got so many different diseases under it. This is actually 200 million people. Okay, 200 million. All right. So cancer, high blood pressure, and high blood sugar together still doesn't surpass this. So autoimmune disease is 200 million. These three together makes the 200 million. Okay? So autoimmune disease is the #1 killer on the planet. Don't let them fool you. Okay? Autoimmune disease is the #1 I'm finna get you thing on the planet. Now, here's the thing with autoimmunity, you can have some kind of decency of life, but this is a lifetime treatment. This right here is going to be, you already know what this is, right? So these are what they call the incurables. The incurables is when you get a lifetime treatment because they cannot balance you out. Again, this is what I'm trying to get you to understand. How has my body respond to the environmental stimuli? You've been putting mushrooms in your body. You've been eating mushrooms. You've been eating all kind of seafood. You've been eating all kind of meats. You've been eating all kind of sweets. You've been eating all kind of prepackaged foods. You've been eating all kind of energy drinks and Kool-Aid and Coca-Cola and soda pop, and you've been drinking liquor and beer and water, different types of water, purified water, distilled water, faucet water, alkaline water. Just think about all the stuff, all the information that you've been putting in you. And every single time, not only is it that what you put into your body, but you wake up every day and go to the same job or in the same household, the same in community, in the same school, going through doing the same stuff. So you got all of this information that's got to be collected from the outside, the external environment, and all of this information that's got to be collected from the inside, the internal environment. And so guess what? All of that stuff is going on every day, all day. And it's all about how you're responding to every single thing. So when I'm teaching you how to slow your response down to things external, always understand that with the macro is the micro, as above, so below. So I'm trying to teach you how to slow it down outside, because when you do it outside, it'll simultaneously be done internally. Okay? Simultaneously. Both of these is something that you're going to have to slow down. Okay? So with the autoimmune disease, this is remember that I told you guys about the three things that heal you: the nervous system, the endocrine system, and your immune system, right? Which is basically is what they call psychoneuroimmunology, right? Psychoneuroimmunology, right? These things are autonomous with healing you. So cancers are going to always be overactive when it comes to your nervous system. Cancer will always create, anytime that the nervous system is overstimulated or overactive, the endocrine system will also get overactive, because they overlay and they basically work together in a lot of different areas. Okay. And then the immunity. So for cancer, your immune system is down, obviously. So you got two ups and two downs. If you know how to work this, then you know how to heal people with cancer. And it don't matter if it's a breast, a prostate, a colon. It don't matter what kind of cancer it is. The herbalist got to know what to do. And unfortunately, you guys don't know how to do it. And that's why I come on here every day to teach you. We have the program for a funky, measly $50. If you guys are interested in your owner's manual, please DM us. Let us get you that information. Okay. So now what happens is that's for cancer. Okay. But for the only difference is with autoimmunity, all three are up. Okay? With autoimmune diseases, for the most part, the nervous system is overstimulated, the endocrine system is overstimulated, and the immune system is overstimulated. And also for allergies, okay? Allergies normally are going to follow suit with autoimmunity. Funguses are normally going to follow suit with cancer. So you would do a fungus, same way you would do a cancer. You would do autoimmunity the same way that you would do allergies, okay? Allergies and autoimmunity, same type of way. You got to understand how to treat the body. So here, automatically know that for autoimmune disease, we need to relax all three of these repair systems. But during the cancer, I need to relax two of the repair systems, and then I also need to make sure I stimulate the other. Okay? So that's how you understand these things in order for you to understand. So now when you go to the doctor, what you're getting is inorganics. Inorganics is going to suppress your immune system, and over time is also going to cause some kind of inflammatory response. Remember that we're talking about the response. How are you responding to this stuff? So now when you got sick, your body did not respond well. It doesn't have the same response that it used to have. When you were 3 years old and you got sick, you responded and you was cured in 2 or 3 days. Now when you're 45 and you get sick, now it takes a week or two. Why? Because your response is slowing down. So now if I start to see that my response is slowing down, you got to slow down on what you're doing. If you start to see that your response is slowing down, you got to respond on what you're doing. A lot of folks ask me today why I'm still living is because I just slowed down on a lot of things. I eat one time a day, that's it. No matter how good the food look, whatever it is going to be, it's going to be one time, and then I can go about my business. But guess what? When I wake up in the morning or when during that night, I'm going to poop one time. So I don't be mad. I pooped one time and I ate one time. I had equal entrance to equal exit. And I'd be all right with that. Equal entrance to equal exit. And I'm all right with that. Some of you guys are eating 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day and not pooping as much. Some of you guys are pooping 3, 4, 5 times a day and not eating as much. Either way, you're sick. If you are eating 3, 4, 5 times a day and you're not equally pooping that much, you sick, or you're gonna be. Okay. And if you are pooping 3, 4 times a day, but you ain't eating nothing but once or twice, you sick already. Okay. And we need to understand how this balance works. Equal interest to equal exit. I could just teach you that and it can heal you. If you eating 3 times a day, you have to poop 3 times a day, but you don't change the poop. You can't make yourself do this, you guys. See, that's the problem with a lot of y'all. Well, I eat 3 times a day, but I only poop once. Okay, so you can't go up on the poop, so you got to go down on the meals. Go down on your meals. The poop is the one that's telling you what you need. The poop is saying, hey, yo, you're doing 3 times a day. All right, times 7 is 21 meals. You only pooping 1 time a day, which is only 7 meals being discarded in that week. So the other 14 meals is stuck in the colon. The other 14 meals is stuck in the colon. The other 14 meals is causing obstruction. The other 14 meals is causing high blood pressure. The other 14 meals is causing high blood sugar because, again, the pressure is building up. Thickness is building up. High blood sugar ain't nothing but thick blood. It ain't nothing but coagulated blood. It ain't nothing but sugar water. Sugar water get thick, don't it? So your high blood pressure got too much glucose in it because it's too thick. Glucose ain't nothing but energy. What it's saying is that you done took all of this energy in and ain't burnt half of it. You done ate all this goddamn food. It's 9, 10 o'clock. You done went down there and got all these fries with all that broccoli and cheese and all this shit on there. And you ain't finna do nothing. You so damn tired, you're not finna do nothing but go to sleep. So right after you eat at 9, 9:30, you ain't got the lemon pepper, all them fries. You know how I'm from America, motherfucker. I know how America feeds you. You went and got that broccoli and cheese and all that shit on that rice and salty ass seafood and everything on that motherfucker salty, right? And so you went and did all of that at 9, 9:30, and then you talking about having sex or doing something, and you ain't really trying to do no sex. It just because somebody got to wake your ass up off the couch that you feel like, oh, because you woke me up off the couch, excuse me, thank you, baby. What did you still want to do? Somebody take your sleep out of sleep. Because somebody wake your ass up until you get in the bed, you think you got energy to do something else. Get your ass up out of here. And you're eating heavy too late. Too much energy in the blood, it shuts the body down. When you sleep like that, you guys, that itis is your body shutting you down because it cannot exude any other energy other than digesting that heavy meal at that time of night. So you start to shift your times of eating. You start to shift your times of working. You start to add in these nature-based interventions. And we got all of this in your owner's manual for that funky measly $50, okay? We teach you how to add these things in. We show you what you need based on your birthday, based on you, not nobody else. This is not a blanket statement that everybody needs this amount of time of sunlight. It's not a blanket statement that everybody needs this amount of water. It's not a whole blanket statement that everybody needs to have a blood test or blood type. It's not a blanket statement that everybody needs these herbs or that herb. It's not a blanket statement that this all will fix all of the shit that you ever got going on. No, it's not a blanket statement. It is customized. It is personalized. And it is very effective, affordable, and accessible to you anywhere in the world. You can get your owner's manual. DM me if you guys have any questions or concerns about it, okay? So now, just with that right now, I'm just a regular person who's already understood how to decode these diseases. And the reason why is because I had an autoimmune disease and I cured my own sickness. Okay, I healed myself. So I know that you can heal yourself, and there are plenty of people like me out here. Plenty of people who done healed themselves from cancers and autoimmune diseases and arthritis and all kind of other stuff. They are here, they're existing. Okay, but again, it's not a blanket statement. So I can't say that that blend that I use for my ulcerative colitis, stop my bleeding and all that stuff coming out of my stool is going to do the same for you. But what I can do is say that if you know your body, then the thing is that the people are coming into the doctor's office telling doctors what they feel. So you're the one we're going off of. If you don't know thyself, you also direct me wrong. I also will give you the wrong diagnosis. I will give you the wrong prescription because you're giving me the wrong stuff as well. Because here's the thing, you know where it hurt at, but you don't know where the hurt come from. That's the problem with people dictating their own health without the knowledge of themselves. That's why I tell you here, we teach you how to heal yourself. You can't heal yourself unless you know thyself. So here's the thing. Now, when you come in with the proper information on you, really, you could do it from a home standpoint. But if not, and just needing some more information, you carry the information to the practitioner. You let the practitioner know what you need. It's just for them to get their hands on it and administer it to you. But you are advocating for your own health. It's your responsibility. This is your responsibility. It is not the healthcare system responsibility to keep you alive. It is not the healthcare responsibility to treat you. It is not the healthcare responsibility to keep you. It's not the food care responsibility to keep you. It is not nobody's responsibility. When you start seeing things that are being tainted and things are going, you can't keep being in default mode network. You can't keep being desensitized. Okay, if you say they fucking with your food, why you ain't growing your own food? Okay, you say the government ain't shit, why you still working for these motherfuckers and paying taxes? Okay, if you say that America ain't shit, why you ain't moved nowhere? Okay, if you say that they're poisoning your water, then why you ain't going to get and fetching your own water? Okay, you say the women ain't no good, then why you go find somebody that is for you? Okay, you say they ain't paying you no money, then why your ass ain't going to go somewhere where the money can pay you? You okay? Stop complaining and start doing something about your problems. Okay? We got to have a problem-solving mentality. We got to have this problem-solving mentality because if you can't understand the information that is going in, if you can't understand the importance of the input, then you will never be able to really understand how to utilize, okay? Because you got to understand how to utilize this information. Okay? If you can't understand this part so that you can start to understand how I got to be able to manage my information, because information is coming from every single thing. The man is telling me information is coming from every time I open up my eyes, from the time I'm asleep, everything I'm still downloading. I'm still getting information through dreams, through sleep state, daydreaming, through dozing off, through tuning out, tuning in, zoning out, zoning in. It don't matter what kind of word y'all young people put on this shit. All the time you are inputting and downloading. So we know that this is capable, but what we're trying to get you to understand is stop waiting to death to try to transition to the other side when you're already doing it in life. We just gotta focus it and concentrate it to a place so that we can go and pick up that answer, that solution for you in that darkness. Look, at night, you should go within you. In the day, you should be out and doing what you got to go do. Okay, so that's fine. We know that. But go within during the night. So the night, again, what's that parasympathetic nervous system is good for what? Rest and digest. Resting from information and digesting the shit that's been happening in that day. But no, you want to come home at night, cut the lights on, and continue to download. Where's the digestion? You just had a hard day at work. Let's rest and digest this day. But no, when you come home from the day, your house is lit. When your house is lit, then therefore you are still tricking the body as into being out and about, still under stress, still trying to figure out what I'm gonna watch, what we gonna eat, what the kids gonna wear, what time you going to bed, when the game come on, what the this and the third. So you still at night too busy. You don't give yourself time to rest and digest. Okay. Anybody got any questions? Please keep tapping. I'll keep talking. Got to head to work. Do you have a live schedule? Yes, every day from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every day from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are here coming live from South Africa, you guys. It's about 4:51 p.m. here. It's been a rainy day, but it's been also a blessed day. So expect storms and everything like that. We're about 6 or 7 hours ahead of you guys on the East Coast. Heaven is here. My kingdom is within. Digestion rest is needed. Yes, there you go. Heaven is within you because the kingdom of God is within you. So heaven is within you. And all we're trying to do now is get this human species to start to walk with their head up instead of their head down. I taught this years ago in my herb shop about the effects of holding your head down. When you hold your head down, it ain't just something about looking down on the ground, but what I'm trying to get you to understand is that's the worst way to navigate. Okay, the worst way to navigate is to hold your head down. When you hold your head down, you're tracking something on earth. When you're holding your head down, that's a tracker's mentality for a creature that's out here for creation. But when you hold your head up, then that's a what you call that stuff? Okay, so a tracker got to look at footprints, right? Got to look down, okay? But when you are being, the Bible says it like this, for we're looking for those who are led by the Spirit. When you're led by the Spirit, then you don't hold your head down to track. You hold your head up to follow, okay? And you'll realize when you head down to track life, track your phone on your laptop, and you're at your desk and you're always looking downward, you're always holding your head down, then you got to understand that that is a person who is lost. You're in the wilderness. And when you're in the wilderness, then the closest thing you can see is down. You put the flashlight down to the ground. But it said that I am led. It said that it said for the guide by day and the guide by night. Okay. Y'all go read the Bible. Now, I ain't read it in 20 years, but your boy still can regurgitate a little something. It said that for the guide by day and the guide by night. So that means that if something is guiding me by the day and guiding me by the night, I'm looking up at the sun and the moon. I'm not looking down trying to follow creation. I'm looking up trying to follow God. I'm not looking down trying to find something here that's just like me and going through the same thing as me. But I got to look up for the bigger experience, the bigger knowledge, the bigger enlightenment, the bigger purpose, the bigger understanding of my existence here. So I got to understand that when I'm always consumed with things that are below, things that are on the earth instead of things that are up above, then I am also now being caught up in the matrix. The matrix is not a place that you actually are at. The matrix is another state of mind. And when you're in a matrix, it's no different than being in the 40 years of wilderness. That means that you're so focused on the fleshly goals of the carnal mind that you get lost in your own attachments, your own absorption, your own ego, and your own will. And therefore, now when you can't output what you want to because you're sick, but you can't output healing, now you want to go crying. Now you want to go shouting and lying and trying to get to a higher source. Prevention is cheaper than the cure. Okay? Everything is information, including your food. So when you're doing these inputs, when you're looking at your plate this morning, when you look at your plate at lunch, look at it and say, what information am I sending myself? Okay? I know the boss sent me some information this morning. I know my coworkers are sending me information. They looking at me and we talking and we mumbling. But my food is also sending me some instructions. And so if I go and get KFC, what instruction is that giving me, HerbMan? If I go and get Popeyes, what instruction is that giving me? If I go get McDonald's, Burger King, what instruction is that giving me? If I go and get these particular restaurants that are around my work area, around my living area, what are they doing? Most 90% of the restaurants that don't got health involved in you are going to be giving you things that help you grow something. Okay, remember this stuff now. Okay, information. 90% of the restaurants, other than those that are actually focused on healing you, okay, they're going to be giving you high protein diet, which means that they're going to give you a lot of meat. Okay, high protein is for a reason. It grows. Okay, this is a growth instruction. This is information. Meat means grow. Okay, you guys, that's as simple as I can put it. Please keep tapping, you guys. I'll keep talking. Meat is just instruction. It means to grow. Grow where? Grow in the muscles. Grow in the muscles, grow in the fatty tissues, grow. Okay, that's what that means. A high carbohydrate diet. Okay, a high carbohydrate diet. What you think this means? It damn sure don't mean get smaller. Okay, so this also is fuel. It's fuel for what? Growth. This is fuel for growth. A high carb diet is a fuel for growth. That's why you'll see a lot of people that, especially over here in Africa, they eat a lot of starches. Okay, a lot of yams and a lot of just different types of starches and stuff like that. A lot of corn-based stuff, yam-based stuff, and things of that nature. But these are all root vegetables, which are going to have a high propensity of starch. That starch is necessary for energy. It's necessary for them to keep on the go, especially in high heat situations. But it's also go means grow. Go means grow. And then also, if you got the high fat and you got the wrong high fat diet, right? The wrong high fat diet, y'all seen it already because you know obesity. So the wrong fat, right? The wrong fat. So the wrong high fat is going to give a instruction of growing. So you get big off of this because it's the wrong fat. You get big off of this because you're eating too much of prepackaged foods here, and you get grown off of this because you're eating too much bread and meat. So no, every restaurant they're gonna give you what? French fries, starch. Bread on your burger, starch. All right, and then the meat. So even a happy meal is a growing meal, which is why they give it to children. You guys, please listen to me. Okay? Please listen to me, you guys. I won't tell you nothing wrong. If you guys are interested in your owner's manual, please DM me and we'll get you the information that you need. That's why they call it a children's meal, a happy meal, because it's got all the components to enforce growth. Okay? Growth. So this is causing growth. So if you're eating a lot of the wrong fats, which is cooking with the wrong oils. So if you got vegetable oil, canola oil, if you're cooking with olive oil, you're cooking with the wrong oils. Listen to what I just said. If you're cooking with vegetable oil, canola oil, or if you're cooking with coconut oil, if you're cooking with coconut oil, well, you can cook with coconut oil, but if you're cooking with olive oil is a salad dressing. Olive oil is made to be eaten cold. Is you just put it on the salad. It's not, you don't cook with olive oil. I know I used to be the one too. Cause goddamn, you throw that salmon on that goddamn virgin olive oil. Now it's something serious. You feel me? I was there too, but that ain't the way it turns olive oil into a bad fat. Olive oil is actually a good fat if you keep it as a salad dressing, a lot like a vinaigrette, right? If you keep it like that, you in your wheelhouse. When you start cooking with it though, you're doing something you ain't got no business doing. Okay, so your good fats is the olive oil uncooked, the coconut oil, that's okay. Then you got your palm oil, which is okay. You got your avocado oil, which is okay because those are good fats. Okay, good fats. So there you go. So now if you're cooking in all that other shit, you got high fat, you're causing growth. And then all your fast food is being cooked in the wrong fat. So that's why fast food gets you fat, because it don't get you fat because it's unhealthy. It gets you fat because it's sending information telling your body that you are wanting to grow. You are wanting to get bigger. Don't you understand what I'm trying to get you guys to see? Please keep tapping, you guys. I'll keep tapping. Put some ones in the chat if y'all really feel that right there. I just told you what you should fry in, Alejandro. Okay, y'all got to listen. Okay, we don't repeat this stuff over and over and over. Okay, these folks ain't giving me no money. I don't make none of them oils. So don't have me repeating shit over and over and over. Okay, palm oil, red palm oil, coconut oil, avocado oil. Stay right there. You'll be okay. Okay. So again, it's information. That's all this is. It's information. That's all this is. Why do you think that you see so many? I'm gonna make it real plain and simple for y'all. Even though I just did, I'm gonna make it real more plain and simple for Rico and Nene them. Why you think these bodybuilders are eating all that shit? Y'all know y'all don't seen bodybuilders, you don't seen football players, you don't seen all kind of sports players. Why they be eating like that? Exactly. Growing. They're trying to grow. Okay? They're trying to grow, you guys. Okay. So now if you're sitting there eating like that at night and you 50, 60 years old and you ain't really trying to grow no more because ain't nobody taught you about that part, you just trying to get you something to eat because you're not seeing that that food is information. So you can't just go and get you nothing to eat ignorantly. You can't be in your default mode when you go get something to eat. You got to snap out of it and understand what these folk giving you. Okay, so now you 60, 70 years old, you ain't really trying to grow, but you're eating that diet. Now, guess what grows? You don't grow on the outside, but guess what happens? Something grows on the inside because you're sending that information. If you're grown, you should not be doing any dairy products from any animals. Okay, if you want to drink some milk, drink your own milk. But if you can't produce milk, then you don't need to be drinking milk. Okay, so the point is that you got to understand that that milk, that dairy, that meat, that fat, that carb is all saying grow something. Okay, so that's what you got to understand. Okay, and we got to know this. And I'm telling you that once you start seeing your plate like this, you'll start to understand. Okay, I see what he's saying. So if I got a situation where I got cancer, do I got a growth situation or degenerative? I got a growth situation. So all I'm gonna eat is stuff that says degenerate. It's simple, but you get all this information with your honest man. Okay, so if you got something growing in you, a tumor, a hernia, a boil, acne, bumps, or whatever is growing on you, there's something growing on you. You got a fungus in the back. You know, y'all seen some of them old big-headed jokers that got them little things. You got shit growing on you. You got moles and shit growing on you. You got what they call these little things. I got keloid shit growing. Then you got to stop the information from getting in. Marina Bell said, I lost 20 pounds following his teachings. Thank you very much, Marina. Okay, so then therefore, so I got arthritis. Okay, if I got arthritis is a degenerative situation. Okay, so that automatically means that I need to come up on the diet and add more minerals that I'm missing from the degeneration of the cartilage. So you need to be doing something that's going to mineralize you so that you can help grow the tissue back, help grow the issue back. So now you're missing things in your diet where the other person is just eating too much growth hormones, That's why we're talking about cancers and breast cancers and prostate cancers. And if you're really thinking about it, if you put all of this together, and there may be some doctors out there, some oncologists out there that can really put the numbers together, but a lot of you guys are having problems in the endocrine system. Okay? A lot of y'all are having problems in the endocrine system, okay? The endocrine system is where this thing can really start to catch off because the endocrine system and the nervous system is your messengers, okay? So just like the messenger that's coming down to the planet, right, that y'all be talking about, okay? The messengers. So this is fast, this is slow. This is direct. This is widespread. What does cancer do? Cancer spreads. What does cancer do? Cancer spreads. What spreads cancer? Cancer spread. They say I got. They still metastasize and it spread everywhere. Who's spreading it? The chemicals, the feelings. The chemicals, the feelings, y'all. I'm trying to tell y'all this. And our feelings are attached to our emotional well-being, which means that a lot of this is coming from relationship issues. A lot of the cancers from your reproductive areas, breast cancer, prostate cancer, PCOS, uterine cancer, fibroids, endometriosis, a lot of it is coming from relationships, things that have been traumas and dramas that have been trapped in these reproductive organs, and then it gets into this endocrine system and it spreads. It takes a long time to spread though, see, because it's slow. But once it hit, it's gone, it's got it, you good, peace, deuces. Once it get into that blood, once it get into your feelings, into your chemicals, it's got it, and it's good, right? And so now you understand how to use these things, fast and direct, slow and widespread. So if I need to be doing something, then I understand what I need to be doing, okay? So the information is coming in. Now the information, I want to slow it down a little bit, slow down the information, slow down the processing, okay? There's something faster than your nerves within you. Remember, I taught you guys about biophotons and about the light signals and all that type of stuff. But then you also had this fascia network. Okay, this fascia network is it actually is faster than your nerves at sending signals and making sure that biophotonic understanding of communication is at an all-time high. It's like a global networking system, okay? So therefore, this stuff can get to where it needs to be. So if you got kidneys that don't work, we need to get your nervous system, because we need to get directly to that. That's why I was trying to tell y'all yesterday about the type 1 diabetes. People dealing with type 1 diabetes has a pancreas that is offline. So when something is offline, there's no need for me to try to give you herbs for the pancreas. I'm going to give you Gymnema sylvestre, and I'm going to give you barberry root and berberine, and I'm going to give you chromium and all these different herbs, and I'm going to give you bitter melon and all this stuff. Yeah, it'll help a normal person dealing with type 2. But you got type 1. Your pancreas don't work. It's offline. When something is offline, the brain registers as offline. It doesn't get any raw material. That means it ain't going to get the right blood, the right oxygen, or the right raw material, because the brain sees that eye don't work no more. The brain is seeing that ear is not working anymore. The brain has noted that left leg don't work no more. Like I was telling the brother who got the arm cut off the other day, the pain is that your hand is missing, your body is missing your arm. You call it pain, but your body crying. Your body crying because it's not whole. It's missing a part of itself. And every now and then, you don't know, but your mind, when you get up in the morning and you start doing things, your right hand or your left hand, whichever one it was, it moves a certain fucking way, motherfucker, when you wake up. And guess what? It's not there to do that no more. And that becomes a pain, because the communication is going to the hand, but the hand ain't resolving. It's not responding, creating the pain. Okay? Your body missing the limb. Literally, it's missing the limb. You call it pain, I call it the body crying. The body misses its limb. So my body is sad. Well, you need the help, Angelica 25. You need the help. You need to get your stuff together. You know, you need to get your owner's manual if you ain't got it, and you need to follow these instructions, okay? You got to follow the instructions. That's why I try to teach you guys. Y'all are coming in. Don't be no seat filler. Put this into practicality, okay? Because again, a lot of this stuff you guys don't need prescriptions, don't need lifetime prescriptions for. You just need to get somebody that understands your lifestyle. When you can tell me your lifestyle, I can prescribe to you certain things. And these things are what they call nature-based interventions. Like for fire signs, right? A lot of people that's got a heavy fire element within them. You don't even have to be a fire sign to have a heavy fire influence. You could be a water sign. You could be a Christian. You could be a Jew. You could be no sign at all. You don't got to believe in this shit at all. But I'm going to still know that you got some kind of fieriness to you. And then guess what? This person that's got a fieriness to them may need to be in a little bit more sunlight than the next person. Or they may need to exercise more than the next person. That don't mean that you should exercise, though. It's just this fiery person may need to be in sunlight and exercise more than the next person in order to eliminate the fire. Okay? This is a water person. This doesn't mean that they're a water sign. Anybody can be a watery person. An emotional person that is very intact, very sympathetic, empathetic. That person may need to watch their hydration a little more than everybody else. Okay? They may need to watch hydration more than everybody else, and then they may need to be by bodies of water. But this ain't for everybody. You may not need to go by the ocean. So that's why I'm trying to tell you, you need your own owner's manual. This is not for the collective in a way to where this is a generic word that's going out for everybody. No. Some of us need specific things based on our makeup, and we can give you all that information with your birthday. Some of you guys are airheaded as hell. Okay, this don't mean you're an air sign, but you can still be airheaded. That a motherfucker. You all over the place. Study intellectual, informative, just all over downloaded. Well, you may need to be outdoors more than a normal person. And look, when you get outdoors more as an airy person, this can help calm the nervous system. When you get sunlight and exercise as a fiery person, for some of us, this goes up in us. Well, this can help calm you. And a water person, if they get by bodies of water and they just hydrate themselves, this is their exercise. They don't got to do a whole lot of stuff. Okay. They don't have to do a whole lot of stuff, you guys. And then the earth element, okay, this right here is going to always be about diet. Okay, watching your diet, watching your foods. Okay, watching your diet, watching your foods. Okay, but then understanding the importance of grounding. I call it grounding and gardening. Okay, grounding and gardening. Either putting your foot in the ground or putting your hands in the ground for an earth element person. This doesn't mean that you got to be an earth sign. You could be anybody, but you can just be dealing with the earth element. And so when you get in your owner's manual, we get to say, okay, look, let's just do this. Let's put it, because of the type of person you are, you've been over here doing yoga when you need to exercise. You've been over here exercising when you need to do yoga. You've been over here dancing when you need to sing. You've been over here crying when you need to laugh. You've been over here laughing when you need to cry. So you got to be able to put those things together. And when you give people lifestyle prescriptions, you'll see that that's far more better, way less side effects, and a better result. And on top of that, you always need to be one with nature, you guys. Okay, being one with nature, being close to nature, ain't never hurt nobody. Matter of fact, it is the secret to the sauce. Okay, nature-based interventions. If a herbalist is giving you this stuff, that you're out here dealing with herbalists and y'all spending all this money on these herbalists and making them rich, that's fine. But if they ain't giving you no nature-based interventions, they don't have a system to do that. If they don't give you the right foods, right, based on you, not based on generically, Dr. Saber said, no, because the same thing is here. This fiery person may need more red foods. Okay. This airy person may need more green foods. Okay. This water person right here may need more yellow and orange. And blue and purple. And this earth person right here may need the same. Okay. They may need the same. Yellow and orange and blues and purple. But you got to know that based on that person and based on that person's situation, based on that person's condition, based on who that person is. We do all of that in your nature-based assessments that we call the owner's manual, okay? So that's what you got to understand right there. What is exercise to one person is different exercise for another person, okay? Some of you guys do not need to be doing a whole lot of moving, because some of you guys just need to sit your ass still. For a lot of the airy people, it is in the sitting still that is going to be more healing for them, because they're all over the place. So an airy person, you need to concentrate and focus on being still. I said an airy person, not an air sign. And you wouldn't know unless you get your owner's manual. So just don't think I'm talking to Geminis and this and the third. There's a billion more Aries out here, right? So airy people need to relax and meditate is the bigger exercise than exercise. Fiery people need a little bit more movement. Airy people needs a little bit more stillness. Okay, earth people need a little bit more movement. So you get this dichotomy and you're understanding exactly what needs to be done. Okay. Any questions thus far? Got any questions? Thank you guys very much. I appreciate all of you guys on YouTube and TikTok. Please keep tapping, you guys. Please grow the channel, grow the information, share it, do everything you need to do. Jared Cotter said good stuff. Appreciate you, Jared. Okay, as a Gemini, what should I do? Okay, so you're a Gemini, but what element are you? What is your life path number? Okay, Marina Bell, that's what I need to know. Remember that everybody that's a Gemini don't mean you Aries. I want to get the manual. You DM me, okay? DM me for this information and we can give it to you. All right, where do we get the manual? DM me, and we'll get you the information. Marina Bell said I'm a 9. So, okay, so you're an air sign. So off the rip right here, this is what you is. So a Gemini is air, but we're going to say hot and wet air. Okay, the other part of you that you didn't tell me about is your Sagittarian qualities, because every Gemini has this. Sagittarius is hot and dry, fire. You said you're number 9, ain't that what you said? You said you're number 9. That's going to represent what? Hot and dry, fire. Okay, so now when we do all this up, we know that you're more fire than air. So again, you're an air sign, but you're more fiery. So Marina, you need to exercise. Okay, Marina, you need to exercise. You're a Gemini, but you ain't the same as me, baby. I'm a Gemini, but I'm a life path 6. So I'm a air sign with an air element. You are air sign with a fire element. The doctor don't know that. Your pastor don't know that. Your parents don't know that. The teacher didn't know that. Your husband don't know that. So, and you don't know that about yourself. What makes you different is that, and that's the thing that you're missing. What makes you different? You can't go off of every Gemini. You see? That's why I'm trying to teach y'all this stuff. This stuff makes you different, okay? So now when you do that, then you just do the math, right? Hot and wet, hot and dry, hot and dry. I teach y'all this all the time. A wet and a dry is going to cancel each other out. Then all you got is all of these hots and dries. So you automatically have a propensity to run hot and dry, okay? Now, I know this already just off that, and we ain't even did none of that. So if you're running a propensity to be hot and dry, then I also can now say that you are a choleric. You like to delegate. You like to tell people what to do and delegate. If I had a business, Marina, you're a manager. You're a great manager, great boss, great supervisor, great at telling people what to do, getting the job done. But at the same time, too, you want to also practice a little bit more phlegmatic. Okay, so that phlegmatic is going to be the polarity. That means that some things you have to do yourself instead of always telling people what to do. But on top of that, this is the opposite of who you are. Okay, so now here's the thing. Just because this is your tendency doesn't mean that that's the thing you're dealing with, though. You may have never ran across your tendency quite yet. It could just be simple as that, just a tendency. But let's say you got arthritis. Arthritis is not a hot and dry condition. It's a cold and dry condition. So therefore, you're not dealing with the tendency. You're dealing with the actual issue. We can categorize that too. So now I say arthritis was cold and dry. I automatically know to give you some hot and wet, with the understanding that we got to be careful about the hots, because we got to always stay understanding of your tendencies. It is a formula that has been used in the beginning of time. It can be used now. It is being used now. And I'm doing this every day, giving people their herbs. And as you can see, people are telling you about it. They're coming on the chat, letting you know. I ain't got damn near 200 people alive every day for no reason. I wasn't one of the fastest growing businesses in Atlanta, Georgia for no reason, okay? And I'm also not able to just come over here to South Africa for no reason, you guys. This stuff is working. I'm living off of it. And I'm also a living witness of it and living proof of it. I'm not only the client of this information, I'm also the president. So I do know it works. How do you learn all of this? Life. Life teaches you, to be honest with you, okay? Life teaches you that stuff, okay? So the good thing about it is that now we're knowing how to use this for our health. Now we're learning how to use astrology, numerology, cosmology, biology, physiology, psychology, all that stuff as one modality. For a long time, they've been breaking this thing up into 4 different things, making you think that it's 4 different things. So over here, you would say Western herbalism. Then you would say Ayurvedic, however you spell that. Then you would say TCM, right? And then you're looking at TAM, right? Traditional African medicine, traditional Chinese medicine, traditional Indian medicine, or Ayurvedic and Western. These are your 4 things. But the realism of it is that all this shit is saying the same thing. If you can learn that way, then that's how you know what I know. Okay? But a lot of people don't know how to process a lot of that information. So you'll look at that and be like, damn, that's a lot of information. I mean, once you get so far, you'll realize that there's synchronicity in everything. Okay, the medicine wheel, the yin and yang, all of these different things. Unani and all these different modalities, they're all talking about the same thing. It has been one modality since the beginning of time that can help people extend their lives, and that's what we've been using to get us to where we're at now. Now, unfortunately, the information has got us up to 75 to 100 years old. Before, shit, you couldn't live past 5 and 10 and 15 and 30. But then information starts to be spreaded, and people start to learn how to be able to extend life. So this is no different. This is the new wave of the future. In the future of medicine is no medicine at all. And we're going to make sure that we become a part of that possibility. Okay. All right. Keep tapping, you guys. I'll keep talking. Keep tapping. I'll keep talking. I got about 30 more minutes with you guys. If y'all got questions, please let me know. Okay. Keep tapping. Let's get us up to 100,000 likes during the live broadcast. All right. Any questions? Anybody that needs help out there dealing with health, let me know. Okay. Yeah, you guys, y'all can keep putting y'all stuff in there. Just going to get an owner's manual. Okay. Okay, we deal in health. I'm tired of y'all young people and some of y'all old folk coming on my show just thinking that I do zodiac signs. I don't do that shit. Okay, I'm the HerbMan, not the zodiac man. Hell y'all talk about, man. I know folk be laughing at me because y'all's ass out, but I love y'all, man. But y'all gotta treat me with a particular amount of decency. Okay, I am not up here to do your astrology sign. I've been a minister in Christianity for years. I love my Christian people. So I'm not going to ostracize them just for anybody, because even though they're at church, they need healing too. Okay. So we need for everybody to be able to come. That's why I don't use a lot of vernacular, because my job is to entreat my brother and sister. So I will go over any boundaries. I will go over any means of lines of division, which means calling people names and claiming religions and all that. Hell no. My job is to gain a brother or sister, no matter your color. My job is to gain a brother or a sister, no matter your gender. My job is to gain a brother and sister, no matter the language barrier. So I don't use divisive rhetoric. I don't give a damn if you believe in me, look like me, sound like me, don't like me. I don't give a damn. I still bring in gifts for you. We can still eat together. You still are my brother. You still are my sister. And this is for you. Say, do this in remembrance of me. That's what we're going to keep on doing. Sharing. What are the ways to reset the nervous system? I deal with anxiety. Okay, I just told you a lot of that, Tay Marie. Okay, when you're dealing with nervous system issues and a lot of anxiety, that's going to be really based on who you are as a person. I can't just say go exercise, because that may not do that. Because if you already is a person that's hyper, I'm gonna say overstimulated, then exercise can also overstimulate as well, right? So Tay Marie, we need to know a little bit more information, like who you really are. Like, what is your birthday? What is your life path number? Let me put that together in order for me to tell you the right thing. You see what I'm trying to get you to see? I can tell everybody to peace out and chill, but it's some folks that can't be still. And some folks get their peace out and be stilling when they walk. Some people get their peace out and be stilling when they work out. Some people get their peace out and be stilling when they smoke out. Some people get their when they go out. So you can't just be one-tracked and say that this is how you calm your nervous system down. Now, I will tell you that breathing normally is going to be the key. Okay, your breath work is going to be absolutely one of the fundamental things that you can implement in a quick response to anxiety. Okay, controlling your breath work. Remember that we're teaching you about responding to environmental stimuli. So when you get that information, when you get that environmental stimuli, I just told you, Tay, we need for you to pause. Stop trying to answer everything so quick. Stop giving a quick response to the environmental stimuli. Start to pause for a minute, process it a little bit longer. You'll come up with more ideas of how to circumvent that situation. So I'm going to say, slow down your response. And you can do that through breathing or walking away, whatever you got to do. But slow down your response to what's going on in your life. Yes, sir. You know, I was in Atlanta, man. I was over there in Conyers. Yes, sir. Bladder problems, go ahead and live. And yeah, if you got bladder problems, that's because you're probably dealing with some type of fear of something going on in your life. There's something going on, fear of some kind of instability. Okay, there's some instability issues. I don't know if you're dealing with bills or dealing with some kind of relationship issue that may be causing you to be a little fearful of the outcome of that, or if you are already dealing with that type of stuff. But that's what's causing that bladder to be a little bit unedged, right? Because you've been going through shit. Okay. But if the bladder is the problem, then you got to tell me what is the problem. Are you peeing too much? Is it frequent urination? Is it this or is that? You let me know. Is the bladder enlarged? What is the problem with the bladder? And then we'll be able to get you done. And that's why you guys, a consultation is more important. A consultation is the most important thing. Stop buying products until you know what you need. The owner's manual is not going to stick you to me. The owner's manual, you're going to get the herbs. You can get your herbs from anywhere. They don't got to get them from me. Hell, you can grow your own herbs. The owner's manual is going to give you your foods. You can get your foods from anywhere. Hell, I don't even sell foods. So I'm trying to get you off of me, but I'm also trying to get you off of everybody. Your health is your responsibility. You just need to learn how to take more accountability for your health and then learn how to do the little tricks that are needed to extend your life. Okay, sickle cell anemia. Okay, Beezy, we already done talked to you guys about sickle cell anemia. All right, I just told you that here when we're talking about the nervous, the endocrine, and the immune system. Okay, when you're dealing with the sickle cell anemia, where is iron at? Iron is the biggest thing because it's an anemic thing. Where is iron? Inside or outside the cell? Anybody know? Beezy, this for you since you keep asking me about sickle cell. So you might well bring your ass on up here and get these questions. Okay, you're gonna throw it out there. You might as well come on and interact with it. Okay. Beezy, where is the iron? In the cell or outside the cell? Otherwise, I'm going to go on and move on. Okay, Beezy said outside. That's incorrect. Iron is more prevalent inside the cell. So that means that you're having an intracellular issue. Your problem is inside your cell. Okay, so we know that, right? It's an intracellular problem. The problem is inside the cell. Now, I just told y'all the other day that the environment outside the cell is going to influence the environment inside the cell. Okay? The environment outside the cell is going to influence the environment inside the cell. So what's happening is that there is something going on with your iron. Now, remember that iron is magnetic. Okay? Iron is magnetic. So there are a lot of your ions, or what we call the metals, right? Heavy metals, the metals, whatever you want to call them. A lot of the ions are metals, right? They're your salts. They are magnetic to iron. So they're going to come on over here. So iron can rob you of some stuff, but then also you could be robbing your body of the iron that you're putting in. I would advise you guys that are dealing with anemia states, sickle cell and anything, start to Google the question. What robs the body of iron? Instead of talking about putting iron in, let's start looking at what is taking iron out. And then you'll probably find more reciprocity handling your iron situation that way. But the biggest thing is just to get more healthier cells. So the red blood cells take 120 days. Okay, or so, 120 days. So this is going to take about 4 months to cure sickle cell anemia, HIV, any kind of blood-borne pathogen, blood cancer, leukemia. You can be looking at this because we need for this reproduction of the red blood cells. I need for that to happen to make sure that you're out in the clear. Because when you reproduce the new red blood cells, they need to be all healthy. They don't need to have anemia. So an anemic cell is a cell that is mutated, is sick. So it's called sickly cell, but you call it sickle. An anemic cell is a sick cell. They call it a sickly cell, but you calling it sickle. And when you calling it sickle, again, they desensitize your ass and you don't know what you're saying. It's not sickle, it's sickly. It's a mutated cell that's deformed, the anemic state, meaning that it's deficient in what? Iron. So now you bring your iron levels up and you need to do it for a good 120 days. You're going to bring your iron levels up. Chlorella, burdock root, sarsaparilla, blessed thistle, things of that nature that's going to help you get all different types of iron in the body, but in the organic way. We don't do inorganic iron. It ain't going to be no liquid iron. It ain't going to be no meat that's going to do it. None of that shit. It's going to be these herbs. They're going to help you bring the iron up, but then you got to make sure that you keep it up for 120 days or so that you can make sure that you're getting enough. Your iron level is up healthy wise. If we keep the healthy state of the iron for 120 days, you reproduce new cells with healthier iron levels. This is how you get rid of the sickle cell. It ain't rocket science. It ain't rocket science. It's a balancing act. It's a recipe. It's a balancing act. It's how you make a cake. It's what you put in the spaghetti. It's ingredients. It's a balancing act. Okay. It's how you make spaghetti. It's what you put in it to bake that cake. That's how you do your health. You got to put the right ingredients in it. If you are poor, you need the right ingredients to be rich. If you are lonely, you need the right ingredients to have your family. If you are sick, you need the right ingredients to be healed. And your owner's manual for a funky measly $50 has all of the right ingredients that are pertaining to you. We don't give you stuff for your disease because we don't chase disease. We give you stuff because we're chasing you. We're trying to find you. And we believe that once we balance you out, then and get you to understand what life looks like being in your skin. Okay. You are coming in trying to live like everybody else. You're black, you're white, you're Chinese, you're Spanish, you're European, you're African. You're coming up in these different settings and these different time zones and these different lifestyles. And some of y'all are being born in the mountains. Some of you are being born in the fucking cold snow. Some of you are being born in the woods, and some of you are being born in the dirt. And some of you are being born in the high rise and the hospitals and this, that, and the third. But you're still so different, but you're all trying to live the same freaking life. And that's what's causing this mass-induced, pain-stricken human experience, okay? Because we're all trying to come in here and live the same freaking life and then tap out when we finish. And it's just not like that. Again, that Gemini is not like me. That woman is a Gemini, but she's not like me. She's a Gemini with a fire element. I'm a Gemini with an air element. So I'm a little closer to the Gemini and what it's supposed to be versus her. She's a little bit eclectic, a little bit more different than the status quo Gemini. That needs to be quantified. If that lady goes to another astrologist or anybody, they'll make her feel like she's just an average motherfucker. And let's flip the script. If you go and do a life path number, Marina, if you go Marina Bell and go to a life path number, they're going to just tell you about nines, and you'll think that that's 9 for every 9. That 9 did not quantify your Gemini, though. That 9 says you're a fire person. That 9 says that you're more mental, more intellectual, more this, than the third. Yes, that's true, but you still got a high propensity of having that open-minded and spiritual side to you. Life path 9 ain't all of you, and Gemini ain't all of you. And that's why you guys need the owner's manual, and we also need to watch out for these basic generic readings. The life path number does not describe everything about you, and your zodiac sign does not describe everything about you. You need a collection of information. So therefore, I told y'all those 4 modalities, they got a collection of assessments, collection of information that you can use to assess in different ways. I can do the 4 humors to get your constitution. I can do the yin and yang to get your side of the body, get where your yin and your excess and your yin deficiency and your yang excess. I can do all of that with the same birthday. I could have did that with her same information. Okay? So we're using the chakras. The Ayurvedic use the chakras and the doshas. We're using that to get your food colors and your phytonutrients. So we know that lycopene and all these things come in the red fruits, and we know that resveratrol and all of that's going to come in your purples and blues and all this type of stuff. We know that the anthocyanins are going to come in your reds and your yellows and your oranges. We know that there's going to be beta carotenes and carotenoids that's going to come to make those colors. That we know that chlorophyll and all those things are going to come in to make those green foods be. So you got all of that with your owner's manual, but you don't need everything. You just need something specific to who you are, and we do that for you. Thank you. I missed what you said. I'll go back over the line later. No, what I was trying to tell you was that you're different from me. You're air 9. I'm an air 6. So I'm an air, you're air fire. That's what makes us different. If you go to anybody else, they would never acknowledge that. If you just did life path number, they're going to make you think all 9s are the same. If you just did zodiacs, they'll make you think all Geminis are the same. They don't quantify what makes you different. That's what I was talking about, Marina. If you want any more information, get your owner's manual, okay? All them identities and labels are symbolic signposts. They cannot define what you are. Yes, there you go, Michael. So again, That's the thing. When you slow down your response and you start to understand that, damn, he just showed me that feelings is really what's creating this cancerous thing. So it's the slowing down of how I react and respond to the environmental stimuli. Just that little slowing down allows me to debrief. It allows something else to happen within my brain and within my nervous system. It doesn't create chemical reactions that's going to flood me so quickly if I just continue to stay in the default mode. But if I start to live in the moment and slow it down, then now I don't get this chemical flood, this chemical reaction. I don't get this overstimulated flood of emotions based on what I would normally do. If you say fuck me, what I would normally do is say fuck you back quick. But if I slow down, then your little fuck you don't raise my blood pressure high enough for you to get that quick of a response. So now I don't get my blood pressure up. Your fuck you don't get my blood pressure up because I slowed down. You see? So now I'm starting to now counteract the chemical floods. I'm starting to now counteract the immediate response. And then now I slow down breath, I slow down response. And then now when I do that, I stop labeling. I stop labeling and I start experiencing. I don't want to label you as a dog. You got to dog me out first. Now I know y'all ladies don't like that, but it's the truth. I don't want to label you as a no good motherfucker. You got to be no good to me. See, I don't want to label this job as a dead end. It has the end. You know what I'm saying? It has the end abruptly the way that, I don't want to label this as the same thing. You cussing like he used to cuss, but I ain't going to label you as just like him yet. I'm going to give you an opportunity to see where this goes. You acting like she used to act, but I'm not going to label you. I'm going to experience this to see if you are exactly like her. Because if I do it from experience, then I got my facts. If I do it from the labels, then you always driving down the street thinking, damn, did I do the right thing? Damn, shit, goddamn, man. Then you're going back and forth with that decision. You need to be content in your decisions. You need to be firm in your decisions. So you pause and not label, experience and slow down and watch how you start to be a great navigator of the waters of life. Okay, you guys keep tapping, I'll keep talking. You guys keep tapping, I'll keep talking. All right, you guys, if you guys want to get a reading, you gotta look. I'm gonna need about 10 roses. Put it like that. 10 roses for a reading. I'm gonna make y'all work for it. 10 roses for a reading. Epilepsy, yeah, you're gonna need to get you a owner's manual. Global mind control unification systems is the Antichrist. I don't really put labels on it. Again, there you go. You just came on here and did the exact same thing I just said. Don't do, Nika Chick. Which is don't come on here labeling shit. You ain't never experienced the global mind. So we don't know yet. But I want you to experience it and then come back with facts on what you think it is. Okay, but right there, that's a label. Because I know you ain't been global yet. Kidney failure. Okay, you got kidney failure. You need your owner's manual. Okay, anybody that's dealing with kidney failure, the number one thing you got to do is eradicate the high blood pressure or high blood sugar, whichever one you got. If it's both of them, then that's what you got to do. You got to normalize your blood pressure, normalize your blood sugar in order to fix the kidneys. That's going to be harder. That's going to be harder to do. Easier said than done, but that's the task. We got to balance your blood pressure. Once we can get you off the medications, we can fix kidneys. You can't fix kidneys if you're still taking medications, man. Okay, you guys, look, man, I'm going to say this again like I said yesterday. You are committing suicide if you're going to be okay with taking high blood pressure medication for the rest of your life. If you're going to be okay with this, you're going to cause yourself some kidney issues. Okay? They're going to prescribe you this because that's what they do. If you're going to be okay with taking metformin for your diabetes, then you're going to have kidney issues. This is number one cause for kidney issues. This is the number two. Okay? You cannot afford to be on high blood pressure medication for longer than 30 days nowadays. Losartan, all these types of things, man, you cannot afford to be on these types of medications in this modern time longer than 30 days. You're just asking for problems, okay? You can take the metformin if you need to, but no longer than 30 days. You need to get this shit right here right in 30 days and leave those inorganic medications alone, because long term they're going to cause you immune system problems and kidney failure. Okay? And I'm going to tell you something else we're going to put up here too. Drinking tea. If you think that you're going to sit up here and drink tea all your life, okay, holistic teas, whatever it is, herbal tea will also cause some kidney issues. None of this stuff, medicine should not be taken every day unless it's in your food. So unless you're eating these herbs in your food, then that's cool. But trying to drink a tea every day of your life for no reason at all, you don't got no problem. You don't want no problem, but you ain't got no problem. Then you don't need to do nothing. A dog only eats dog grass when it's sick. It don't eat dog grass no more than that. A monkey only gonna eat the leaves off the tree when it's sick. After that, it goes back to its regular scheduled diet, which is its fruits, its vegetables, etc., etc. So we only need medicine when you need it, not for nothing else. The prevention is just in keeping the body in a homeostatic thing. Well, how do I keep my body homeostatic? By getting out into nature and knowing which one of these things that you need to be doing for you. Do I need to do more dancing, singing, laughing, and crying? I'm going to say you need to do all four, but it's a rhythm of it. It's a regimen to it. It's a pattern that you need to do it in order for you to relinquish your relationship, but also help you through these hard times. And I can't say that laughing is your remedy until you get your owner's manual. Then we'll be able to find out which one of them is the remedy for you. Okay? Decorating Mom said, makes sense. Yes, yes, yes. Anybody in YouTube land got any questions? Okay? We're almost at 100K, you guys. I appreciate all of the love. Remember, you guys, everything is about information, okay? It's all about the input, okay? Your input is going to dictate your output. So we got to make sure that we're able to manage these environments at our greatest challenge. Owner's manual, yes, Gaga, just DM me for the owner's manual, okay? DM me for the owner's manual, and we will get you the information that you need. All right. So intracellular, extracellular, outside, inside, acids, alkaline, yin, the yang, the doshas, kapha, pitta, vata. I mean, absolutely everything we have put into this system for us to be able to understand it. Life path number, astrology. I mean, you name it, we got it in there. The herbs, the cell salts, all that stuff is in this thing. I was told I am bio pre-diabetic. Okay. So then you already know what you need to do then. Okay. Stevie Rich Andrew, you got self-control problems. So yeah, if you don't handle your self-control problems, you're going to run you right into diabetes. Your problem ain't your blood sugar. Your problem is self-control. Get more control over yourself, man. I know you like sweets, and I know you like to do what you want to do, but obviously you see that your body is weakened by your self-control issues because you don't know how to stop doing shit when you do shit. So now you done got a alarm that went off in your body that, hey, you're too out of control in certain essence that's causing the imbalance in your blood sugar, okay? So it's all about self-control. If you can control yourself, you are not a pre-diabetic, and nor will you ever see diabetes. Okay, but if you want me to give you an herb for self-control, shit, there's no herb for you. Okay, there's no herb for you. If you're the problem, there's no herb for you. We just got to talk you through it, walk you through how to balance your life out and how to take back control over yourself. Okay, and that's how we would do you, and that's what you get with your owner's manual. You guys don't have to pay for anything extra when you get your owner's manual. You can DM me, you can call me. I'm in South Africa. You guys can save the contact, WhatsApp me. 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to get renewed information, there are a lot of people that have been watching me for years and see that I've upgraded this thing all the time. So when we do that, you guys, for $3.99 a month, okay, $4 membership. I repeat, it's a $4 membership. That didn't come out wrong. It's $3.99. Okay, what you get in that $3.99 membership is a yearly. Okay, you get a yearly update. Not every time I update, a yearly update. Okay, so you get once a year, you get a yearly update on your owner's manual. Okay, Also, you get lab reviews. If you're going to doctors or you're going to get your blood test, a hair test sample, or whatever you're going to get, I'm going to be there to help you walk you through your lab reviews, okay? And then also, last but not least, which is my favorite thing, okay, as long as you are a member, you get a lifetime of health advocacy, okay? Health advocacy, meaning that you could be dealing with anything, and you got somebody in your corner that's going to be giving you instructions of how to be able to help your body out through a traditional means. Yes, you got the doctor's stuff telling you, you got your pastor stuff telling you that, you got your therapist telling you that, and then also you can come and get a traditional outlook on what it is. And if you put it all together, you may have your masterpiece for yourself. But we give you all of this with the membership, okay? So for $3.99, you get a yearly update, lab reviews, and also you get the best of the best of health advocacy, okay? And that's how you keep up with me, and that's how I keep up with you. Any other questions thus far, you guys? We appreciate the 100K. If you guys don't have too much more to say, man, I'm gonna get up out of y'all hair. Look, I appreciate all of you guys. We had a little power outages going on here for the last couple of days, so I have not been able to get to some of the people that I need to get to. But we are getting to you as I speak, okay? And we're gonna get these things out to you and get your herbs in your hand, get your owner's manuals in your hand, and get your healing in your hands, okay? I'm going to join the membership. Yes, you can. Now, if you don't have the owner's manual, you don't get a yearly update. So don't think you're going to join to be a member and get an owner's manual, okay? Thank you for all the information. Yes, yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Tammy Reed. Yes, yes, yes. I appreciate all you guys, man. Well, since y'all saying bye, I'm going to say bye. I love you guys. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Please go tell somebody to go tell somebody about your homie HerbMan. And until next time, love HerbMan. Peace. Woo-say! Yes, sir. Yes, sir.